G'day, g'day. How are we all? I'm good. Good. It's a beautiful day here. It's actually warm. I'm gonna have to get the shorts on, get the old white pegs out. What are we doing today? I've already been up and at it a bit. I have planted the elephant garlic. I won't show you because it's a patch of ground. And I have planted all the lettuce and I have planted all the cauliflower. So I've actually planted, I'll show you, 1 second. So I've actually planted stuff in here. So to see it down there. Down there, the cauliflowers were a little bit dry, so that's my bad, but they'll pick up. Got some lettuces down in there underneath that cabbage, if you can see it. And I've started thinning my carrots out. So that's successful. I've got to go back in and have a look at the packet and see what they were. I'm going to start writing types of, what's the word? Breed? Ugh, had a brain fart, can't remember what it's called. But different types of seeds that I plant. So I know what works and what doesn't. The other ones didn't. Those all-season babies didn't work at all. Didn't get one germinate. So I've been in here, I've been weeding and chopping, dropping. You can see I've put it all in the middle here. It's all nutrients. And I'll just walk on that and eventually it'll turn into soil and I'll put it back in here, I guess. So everything's going pretty well. Things have bolted a little bit. My coriander has bolted. I think it might have gotten a little bit too hot for them. It's the middle of winter. Come on, man. So I've got another cauliflower down there where I've just pulled a heap of weeds out. So yeah, I've also picked a heap of tomatoes off that green little ones and I've ditched them because they're still not breaking. And maybe today we can get them to break a little bit, hopefully. That one's starting. So hopefully I can still get some more tomatoes. You can see I've done a lot of weeding in here. Found a celery that I'd forgotten about. And look at my calendulas. They're going really, really good. I've never been able to grow them before. So weird. So I've run out of worm castings. And so this is all a la natural. Look at that calendula. What a ripper. So we'll see how they go. What I've noticed in here is things aren't getting massive. So the crop isn't that good, and I'd say that's just because the soil is what it is. I didn't really put any fertilizer in there other than Charlie Carp and the worm castings. So it is what it is. I'm going to plant more wheat. I'm just got to get some stuff to put it under. I'm going to plant heaps. They love it. It's really good for the girls. This thing is going nuts. I thought it would die. And even some of my marigolds are still, like Salvia's loving it. I don't think it loves the frost or the cold that much, but it's growing. So there you go. And I've got more garlics coming up everywhere. So now we've got the elephant garlic in here. I also got some asparagus planted. It's not yours, Grace. It's not yours. Go on. Off you go. Go on. You get out of there. Go on. Go on. And I've planted some asparagus down here. And you see this is that cooch I planted. That'll stay dormant. I've dug that out of the lawn when I went on my hole digging excursion. And my asparagus has planted here. Now, I'm not sure if they're going to grow, given I've planted them in the middle of winter. But that's usually when they put their roots down deep. So I've planted 6 in there. Well, I've planted 12, but we'll thin them out to 6. Guava is going really, really well. It's changed colour a bit since it's been wet, but certainly that heat shield is working. It's got a couple of little holes in it. It's not completely sealed. And my Tulsi basil, I've covered it up to stop smushy peeing on it and hopefully keep the frost off it just in the first year because it doesn't really like it, but it's still alive. Still alive. Girls having a bath, 2 of them. We put charcoal in here, well not charcoal, wood ash in here. And I've never had any problems with my chickens medically, you know. Never ever had a problem. Pearl hurt her wing once, but that healed up. And but yeah, maybe because we are in a fairly warm climate that isn't humid. Maybe that's why. So certainly no lice or anything like that, mites, and it probably helps that they've always had a really nice coop to stay in and always had fresh food and grass to eat, as well as the pellets, which I'd like to go away from, but they are good. They do help them lay. So onions going fine. They're probably a bit dry, so it shows you can really mistreat these things. Come spring, we will start splitting them again. That's this one up here. It's going really, really well. So yeah, everything's going good. I've got roots in the ground, chickens are happy, and the green mulch is going. Garlic's planted, elephant garlic's planted, which is pretty much for the scapes. That's what I want. I've never grown them before, so that's going to be really interesting. And I've got 2 in the biochar area and 2 in the normal area. So I've got 2 up that end, I've got 2 up this end, and we'll see how we go. Now I've done a little bit of pruning. So I've pruned that plum tree a little bit, and I've pruned that one. Whoever pruned that at the local hardware store, yeah, it wasn't very good. Let's go and do some chipping. That's the one thing I do need to get done this morning before I go down the road and have a look at the chipper, which is about 45 minutes away, but I'll be driving through the hills, and it's a lovely drive, so don't fall in love with Adelaide Hills. I dare you. This is what we got this morning. The compost is going really, really well. See a few mouse holes in there. They're not going to be happy. You in there? You are going to be spewing in a sec, especially if Grace catches you, which is what she is looking for right now. I'm encouraging that. It's hard, you know, because I wanted to get the mice, but I don't want her to get the chickens. So do I encourage it? It's hard. Probably not going to stop it anyway. So I'm about to dig this out by hand. You see I've put an old door over the back there. That's to stop it settling on the shed, so it doesn't get too wet, doesn't start to rust. Even though it is Gulf, it will still rust eventually. So let's get into it, shall we? I'll set this tripod up and away we go. Grace, you might be coming out. Come around this side, though. You can come this way. Come in there. There we go. Alright, so from puffing, it's hard work. You see it's composting beautifully in the middle. Saw a fair bit of steam coming out of there. But over the back here, really not a whole lot is going on. So I'm going to put some grass in it now. I'm going to give it a water, and then I'm going to keep going. So we eventually will have a big pile along that side. So yeah, keep going. It's good exercise. So halftime break. Just stopped to water it. It's going to be big. I haven't put the chipping stuff on here yet, which is what I'm going to do now. You can see this here is sticking together with, I guess, the heat core. So that stuff's going on top, and all this little stuff here I'll mix in with the chipping stuff. Then we'll give it another water and pile it up, and it's going to be quite big, which is good. This is the last load I'm putting in here. Then I need to start another compost pile. So I don't know where I'm going to do that. I really need to get some infrastructure sorted here. Hey, quick rant. If I ever hear anybody ever say I want rocks in my garden because I want a low maintenance garden, you know, I could just go cray cray. I'll tell you why. This stuff all came from a yard yesterday, which was like a topiary garden with gravel, coloured gravel and stuff underneath it. And sorry, just been digging. I spent probably half an hour pruning these lovely topiary trees, and then I spent about 45 minutes slowly raking up the gravel, raking up the stuff. And this is what I get now. I love a rock, a nice rock, as much as any man, but this is not a nice rock. This is an annoying rock. They are the highest maintenance ground covering you can have in your garden. Trust me, unless you want to put that evil weed mat down and have plastic in your garden for thousands of years that annoys you and looks really ugly, then don't put rocks there. Just don't do it. Don't do it. Use mulch if you have to. Use wood chip, whatever. Just give the rocks a miss, yeah? So, how's she going to go today? Got some nice easy stuff for her. Might struggle to get this down the chute. Like I said the other day, you really got to pitch it into that chute, the small stuff. Not a lot of big branches here. But, you know, she should be pretty happy with that. I'll try and line her up correctly so it spits in the right place. And we'll see how we go. It's pretty big, that pile. I know this is what you all want to see. Not too bad. It's getting all the woody bits out. Some nice green. All right, need some more water. Whew, even using that's hard because you really do have to pitch the light stuff in. I'm like a baseball pitcher back here. Job done. Got to put the weed mat back on top of it. I got that weed mat from my garden, and it is really the only good use for weed mat is putting on top of compost. So you can see it's actually pretty warm, even though I've turned it, and it's really high now, probably 1.5 meters, maybe slightly less, and 1.5 meters by 1.5 meters and 1.5 meters. I've put all the grass inside it this time because I want it to cook now. I'm not putting any more in it because every time I put more in it, I'm setting myself back a turning cycle. I need to have that new stuff, compost, degrade. So now it will get left for a week. We'll have a look at it in a week. I don't think I'll need to turn it for probably 1.5 weeks, and then we'll come back and have a look at it. There's still quite a few sticks in there, so not big ones, just little ones. So really got to get rid of them as well. Some termites would be handy. Maybe I've got to put some fungus in there in reality. All right, let's go for a drive. It's about 5 minutes down the house north of me, so further away from Adelaide. And this is how we farm. Check it out. Look at all those trees. They've all been cut down because apparently that's what you do. Just cut them down and leave them. And there's sheep there and cattle over the back on feed in the middle of winter. So I'll tell you what I do not see ever out here is any form of rotational grazing. It's just too many animals on this land, and they don't give a crap. Okay, we're in Mount Pleasant. We're at the back of the pub actually. Just stopped in to get a bottle of Coke at the drive-through. Do you guys have drive-throughs in Namibia? Probably not. Probably not. Drive-throughs are alcohol places where you can drive in and people give you alcohol, but they sell soft drinks and chips and stuff like that. So yeah, Mount Pleasant. Doesn't everywhere have a Mount Pleasant? This place actually is quite pleasant. This is where a lot of the rich people in the hills live. So if you're a shit-hot rich farmer, then this is where you come to live. It's right out the back. When I say out the back, I mean out the back of the range, and it's on top of the range. So yeah, really, really nice place actually. It's a bit far from Adelaide for me. You're probably looking at a 45-minute drive to Adelaide from here, and out the back means out the back of Adelaide. So I'm basically going all the way around the outside of Adelaide, and we're going to go through quite a few nice little villages actually. If I go left there, that goes down to the south coast. I used to come this way to work a lot. I used to work in Murray Bridge, so I've driven this road 1,000,000 times. I've drunk in every pub along the road, probably about 20 times. There's another pub. 2 pubs means it's a flash village. And yeah, have a look. Lots of nice little cottages. All these towns got their own footy club, and that's a fairly big cultural thing out here, footy and cricket. Wow, look at that house on the right. That's nice. And then I know there's a big stockyard up here on the right, and they also have a big show, a rural show. So yeah, just here on the right, there is a footy ground. I've done that up since I've been here. I haven't been here for a long time. Actually, this is where I used to go, Manham and Murray Bridge. So we're not going that way today because that takes us south. about it. There's Stockyard on the right. And this is definitely another town I'd live in. Bit of Australia for you. Flockaroos. Don't know what they call them. Yeah, flop. Not sure. Oh yeah, they're out there eating all the food. The farmer would be pissed about that, but hey, they were here first. It's one thing that isn't endangered in Australia is kangaroos. They flourish in this sort of farmland. They love it. And they jump these fences here. See, that's about 1.5 meters, but they'll jump that fence without even thinking about it. They just be like, boing, and over they go. I love them. I want to get them up the paddock at the top, but there's not enough grass up there. So, all part of the long-term plan. Get roos to eat in that little alley behind my house. We're coming into one of my favourite parts of South Australia. Actually, one of my favourite parts of the whole country, and I've seen a fair bit of Australia. Not all of it, obviously, but a lot of it. And this is right up there. This is Mount Torrens, so I'm pretty much as high as I can get in South Australia right now. And it's not that high. I don't know what it is. Doesn't get snow on it. Not often anyway. Every now and again we get a few flakes, but not this year. So yeah, it's lovely. And I'd love to live up here, but there is no affording living up here. And you have a look at all the land. This is generational land. These are either people that are very, very rich that have been able to come and live out here, or they're probably descendants of what we call the £1 poms and the original settlers of Adelaide. So they actually bought the land off the Aboriginal people. It cost them, it was ridiculous. Like they ripped them off so badly. And but yeah, they bought a strip all the way along the top of the mountain range, all the way from down at Victor Harbour all the way up to my house pretty much, and then they sold it off at £1 an acre. Hence the word, hence the saying £1 poms. So they got this for £1 an acre back around, I think it was when the First World War or something, I don't know, it might have been earlier than that. And I wouldn't have left, would you? So that's where all the money is. Was bought for cheap and held on to, and now you're probably looking at $1 million an acre, maybe a bit more. Not bad, not bad. A bit of business by the old colonialists. So this is Bridgewater. This is where I've got the machine from, and I've just bought the machine actually. I don't want to go on his house too much, but there it is there. Got a bit of an oil leak, but we'll fix that up second hand, and it was in my price range. So man, that hill, that's a challenge, but oh my goodness, what an area. Look at this place, beautiful. I once got a golden duck, a first ball hit for 6, and a drop catch at the Aldgate Cricket Club, which is just down the road here, and they never invited me back, and I don't know why. Now you may think you're happy, but you're not as happy as the Rottweiler in the back of a ute. All right, let's go home. We've got some dairy cattle here. I've stopped to show you this because it looks like these guys are actually rotationally grazing. Now it's still pretty bare, but you can see that they're all in one paddock. See that over there with the push bike rider? That's a walking track, would you believe? That's how you tell that this is a rich area, because they've got a walking and a push bike track through the middle of the farm. So, hello cows, moo! But yeah, it's nice to see that it is coming along. You have a look at all the different paddocks. I can see about 6 paddocks there. And behind me, there's another lot like this. So they're on feed. They're probably still grazing too many animals, but at least you can see the people are, well, some people are trying. Wish I could do that. So I believe this is a property that was owned by David Hayes. Now, who's David Hayes, you ask, Brendan? David Hayes is a horse trainer, and he has quite a few Melbourne Cup winning horses, which is one of the biggest horse races in the world. I think it's up there with the Kentucky Derby and Royal Ascot. So yeah, it's huge, and this is what happens when you win the Melbourne Cup. You can afford something like this, and it really is beautiful. You can understand why a multi-gazillionaire would want to live here. The Barossa is like this. This is what it's like. Remember I said it was going to get green? This would have all been brown 3 weeks ago. And you can see their paddocks are actually in really good nick, and the reason for that is because they breed racehorses, and racehorses need good feed to be big and strong. So this has been rotationally grazed forever, basically, and you can just see, I'm not sure if you can tell, but beautiful clumps of grass, and just a beautiful setting. So I don't think he owns it anymore, but another horse trainer bought it, I believe. I've been in the house. Oh my goodness, you should see it. Their pool has a diving board, like a real diving board. So we're home. Total trip took about 3 hours because I kept stopping and filming, and came home to this. Bloody hell, it's been a nice day. It's been so good. I've got shorts on at the moment. I've had to put my jacket on now, but alright, let's get you out of the glare. My sweet peas are going. They're still going. They're sweet peas. The chickens decimated them. I put this cage up and now they're going well. Passion fruit's struggling through. Don't like winter. Got to cut a big one of them down on Monday. Let's let the chickens out. My favourite time of the day. Your favourite time of the day too, girls, isn't it? Yeah? Buck, 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 buck. Buck, 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 buck. To the wheat. To the wheat we go. Buck, buck, buck. Let's go check this compost, and we'll go for a bit of a walk, and that'll do. It's apparently longer videos are my go. I've actually kind of made a decision to stop making heaps of videos in the week, simply because I'm working. There's not a lot going on, and too much in Brendo is probably not a good thing. So we'll keep putting shorts out every day though, and there'll probably be one longer video every weekend. Means I'm not going to do one tomorrow, which is fine. We can relax tomorrow. So let's have a quick look at this. Where are we at? That's not too bad. I reckon that'll be up in the red zone by about 1 or 2 o'clock tomorrow. Getting good at this. It's a nice big pile of compost. So we've got that mini loader. I bought it. I got it for a good price. I got it for $2,000 less than he advertised it for. I've got to buy some equipment for it, but for the moment it's got a bucket. It's got a 4-in-1 bucket, one of those ones that opens up like a claw bucket. It's going to be so handy because you saw and you heard me puffing today. This is just the start. This is probably a tenth of what I'm going to have, maybe even less. So going to need it. And it was quite relieving, actually. I felt a sense of relief when I got it done, and I find that that's usually a way to tell if you're making good decisions or not. If you're relieved once you do it, then it's probably been a good decision. But if you are stressed, come pups, smush, about it still, then maybe it wasn't such a great decision. So this video unintentionally turned into a video about rotational grazing. It appears I'm quite passionate about the subject, although I always have been. I'm from a cattle farming background, and I'll just explain that to you a little bit. I used to, my grandparents were cattle farmers, stud limousin. Sheeps are up. Bah! Yeah, that's right. That's right, I'm here. So, yeah. But my grandpa got arthritis, so they had to downsize. So I think they were originally dairy, and they downsized to limousin on about 160 acres. And it's actually one of the biggest regrets of my life, because when my grandpa died, my gran had to sell the farm. She was a nurse, and she just couldn't do the nursing thing. Plus, she was getting to retirement age anyway. Well, she was well past retirement age. And I was 17 at the time. It's a hard time, actually, when grandpa died. But I could have gone to that farm. 1 second. Grace! It's not yours. Stop it. Still chasing that reflection. Wait, go on, off you go. So yeah, I could have gone and moved down there, but at that time I had no interest in gardening, I had no interest in farming, I had no interest in anything other than doing what I was doing at the time, which was quite important to me back then. So less important to me now, and I really wish I had have gone down, because it was 160 acres and it was land like you have seen today. The Adelaide Hills reminds me a lot of the ranges in northern New South Wales, inland northern New South Wales, which is where my family's from, half of them anyway, the other half's from Perth. So I know how these cattle farmers think. I spent pretty much 6 weeks a year at our farm for my whole life, and I actually lived there for about 6 months as well, and went to school there. So I can tell you categorically 100%, I will never be sure about anything more than what I'm about to say. They spend half their life fighting the land. They just fight it. Clear trees. You know, you got to give your cows antibiotics if the feed's not good. Now, luckily up in northern New South Wales, there's a lot more rain. And what I learned, because we had to scale the farm down, the grandpa ended up in a wheelchair. My mum and dad owned half the cattle on the farm, and again they were stud Limousin, so they're a really beautiful looking cow. But most of those cows were either for show, where we'd show them and try and win prizes, grand champion awards, and we actually won a couple at the Brisbane show, which is an enormous show, with a bull called Alfredo, who was just beautiful. You should have seen him. He looked like Tarzan. And we didn't have to overgraze. So I think that's where all this has come from. We didn't have to overgraze because we were trying to make big muscly bulls and beautiful big cows and you know, win heifer of the year and stuff like that, and we needed grass to do that. So it was never overgrazed, and we did rotationally graze. Now don't get me wrong, my grandparents were not permy nerds by any stretch of the imagination, but I think because they couldn't run the farm as intensively as they probably would have liked, given my grandpa's disability, that it ended up being almost a permaculture farm. The grass would always be there except in droughts. And so I think that that's where it's come from. I've already seen it work. And what's the worst thing that can happen, right, is that you can farm less sheep or you can farm less cattle. But the inputs are the problem. The not giving us stuff, or it being too hard to move your cows or your sheep, that's the problem. I'm not sure if you could get as many cows on a property as they do now, but I am banking on that theory, and it's something that I don't think I can change it. I think it's probably slowly changing anyway, but it seems like a race against time to me. Who can win? The people that want to do it the way I want to do it, or do we just run out of food? Do we just build houses here and farm these guys on steroids in skyscrapers? That's not what I want. Anyway, I'm sorry if it seemed a bit negative today. It wasn't. It was an amazing day. Like, I've had a bloody ripping day. Did all the work in the morning. Went and bought that mini loader, which is going to help so much. And yeah, really enjoyed that drive. People don't know Adelaide, but it's my favourite city in Australia. I haven't been to Tasmania. I've been to all the other ones, and by far my favourite city. Now, I'm not in the city, obviously, but I've just wrapped around it pretty much, or halfway around it. And every place that I went today is within about 45 minutes drive of Adelaide CBD. So it's a ripping joint, good beaches, good weather. We just need to get this sorted out. Anyway, guys, I've had a lekker day. It's been great. And I'll see you soon. Bye now.